Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 92 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C. Kohler,
Hey,
and Raxus.
Step in the spotlight. Woo!
I forget what that's... Oh, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, is there any news that I'm forgetting about?
Oh wow. The rare blade gotcha mechanic from Xenoblade 2 has been fully data mined.
Really? Oh,
News.
Yes.
Toonami
Apparently,
news.
apparently there's a pity system.
really?
Yeah.
How so?
I'm looking at it now. Apparently the pity counter is reset every time you get a rare blade. There's a list of pity blades. Basically, what seems to be about 15 of them.
Huh.
And looking at it, I have all the pity blades.
But every time you get a pity blade, it adds 90 draws to Cosmos.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fuck.
I mean, it doesn't say that, but yeah.
A petty system, something all anime fans wish was real.
Yeah. Apparently, the reason Cosmos is so hard to get is because it's not in the pity system.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Any real Toonami news?
Not that I've noticed. Not Toonami related, but they've released some art for My Hero Academia Season 3.
Well, that's never coming.
I can still believe!
Holy shit. Cosmos's draw rate is less than 1%.
I mean,
It's not even 3/4 of 1%.
anyway, let's talk about the blog.
I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Cosmos!
Like, no wonder no one can draw that shit. It's like just 0.71%.
Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, you posted in the thread. How did you not see it?
Dragon Ball Super episode 51, Feelings That Transcend Time, Trunks and Mai. Feelings that transcend time is what he said, and the cops were like, yeah, son, come with us.
Have a seat. He needs to talk to the cops.
everybody blew that way out of proportion.
No, yeah, probably, but it's still like, you know, like
It's only-
like I told, yeah,
It's only
he
weird
talks
because
he talks to Mai about her future self, and he does. I mean, it's in the most what's the word I'm thinking of? Tame way possible. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, like there's
it's
nothing
not
there.
so bad. Yeah,
I mean, she's like crushing on him just because she's looking at this handsome older guy.
Yeah, she's crushing on him because
Mhm.
she's the proxy for the female fan base for this show.
Right.
Oh my god, Future Trunk
But
is
Future
back!
Trunk's like, he's like, oh, you're you're this woman I'm gonna know, in the future. That's it.
yep.
I just like that when Shu and Pilaf asked what happened to him, Trunks was just too nice to say, "Oh, you're definitely dead."
You didn't blast.
You kind of went, ugh, and flopped over. Otherwise, Goku Black is really excited to fight Goku. Like Goku. would
He's
be.
very excited to fight Goku Black.
That is a plan.
They're pretty much made for each other.
And that's about it.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow episode. And
But yeah.
DBZ Super tends to have these, like in between big action episodes, they tend to cool down a bit, which is fine. I
Yeah.
kind of wish we had a little bit more future Mai. Honestly, I just like the idea of just Mai turning into this badass good guy girl in the future. It was not. I mean, for the at least you tried, Star. For the night, bringing down a whole city on Goku Black was nice.
He just does that Fist of the North Star
Yeah.
thing where he's just walking with his head through the building, just like.
Like, you tried, but obviously you haven't been paying attention to DBZ for the past couple arcs where this is obviously no longer effective on anybody. Like it may have been taking them down in the during the start of DBZ, but not anymore.
not even then.
Not even then.
Like, you would have to be... I don't even know if anyone in Dragon Ball could be taken down by that.
I mean, like, maybe the first couple arcs.
Maybe Pilaf. Try it on Pilaf.
I mean, he's kind of a wuss, so...
Anything else?
It's just a minor thing, but it's unusual for Super to flash back to old stuff, but when they do, it's like suddenly you see like the DBZ like animation cut in, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so different looking. And then they'll like insert like made up shots that are supposed to take place back then, but we never saw, and those like look way too clean.
Yeah,
it's like almost like, oh yeah, I totally took this time machine from you before you left.
Right.
Oh man,
that totally happened.
Not just that though. I mean, I couldn't get over the fact, like I've been watching the Bridge series too much, so just hearing Dr. Briefs and his wife again just completely threw me off.
Yeah,
especially his wife. Like she just has such a weird accent. It's like, what are you?
She looks like she's 26,
and she's like 70 something.
Right.
Bullshit.
Maybe even 80 something.
Bullshit.
Mama being in her like 40s.
Yeah, she's at least 65.
Mm.
Look pretty
Mom,
good.
why do you never get old? Your father doesn't allow me to.
Oh yeah, speaking of TFS, you know, the last episode of Cell might be their last episode, period.
Yep.
All right. We'll see.
We all knew it was coming.
Well, they're certainly dragging it out like the last episode, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be 3 like half-hour things.
3 half-hour things.
It's going to be like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Oof.
So, I mean, at least they're going out, you know, with a bang.
I just find it hard to believe that they wouldn't do a little bit of Super.
I mean, because Super doesn't take itself super seriously at all, so...
I mean, you could still do it.
I mean, they've done clips, but I don't think it really work. I mean,
either way.
I forgot my tractor is already in a Bridge series scene. Anyway, want to talk about Kai?
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 150. Boo's sinister scheme. Gotenks is absorbed because he could totally do that before.
Oh yeah. I mean, you'd think that, you know, Supreme Kai, who knows about this, mentioned before Gohan left that, oh hey, by the way, you can absorb people.
He doesn't know what Super Boo can do.
No, he actually does know about this.
Toriyama doesn't know what the fuck Super Boo can do.
Because that's what happened to the original Supreme Kai. Like, that's why this schmuck is put in charge. Because the other one got absorbed.
So basically, Boo had to fly off and consult the script.
Yep.
Oh, I can do that? Okay, I'll just do that.
I'm back.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about Pink Cell?
Yes.
Did I say Cell?
No, you said...
You said Boo, but we're not talking... There's no character called Boo anymore. There's a guy named Pink Cell.
Pink Cell, which is terrible.
Yeah.
So in
Can I
case
just
you were
state
wondering...
how much I hate Super Boo? Like,
Yeah.
there's the original Majin Buu and Kid Buu at least have different variations from the other villains of the previous arcs.
This is all just more of the same.
He's just so bland.
Well, that's what Morless
and that's
said.
saying something for somebody that turns people into candy.
Morless was like, he's just so boring now. And that's exactly it. It's like, I mean, I didn't actually mind Super Boo because he was like yelling all the time and crazy and he looked really menacing. This is dumb. This is like, Like you took a goofy character like Boo and you turned him into some kind of intellectual.
I mean, that's how it always goes.
Yep.
I mean, it's just, it's
Yeah.
this is. I mean, the Boo arc drags, and this is probably the biggest part where it drags. Just
Yeah.
everything.
Because I
super
mean,
Boo shit.
we were on the verge of, you know, the end of Boo. We were like, okay, there's no possible way that they can lose at this point. Gohan is stronger than Super Saiyan 3, and he's got no timer, and he can't possibly lose. And then there you go.
This is why I appreciate that they dialed this back in Super, because I get sick and tired of freaking regenerating enemies, because just no matter what you do to them or how much you kick their ass, they just regenerate. And it gets just tired. It just gets tiresome over time. I mean, at least with Hit in freaking Black, you have some flavor to them. Like they're.
Oh no, Black is somehow.
No, Black we'll get to it in a second. That's
Yeah.
spoilers. But yeah,
Yeah.
But it makes him more threatening once you find out his deal.
Yeah.
But we'll talk. We'll get to that.
Yeah,
eventually.
we'll get there
But
eventually.
anyways, going back to Super Boo. I mean, he in that like you see all these characters just perform either these really cool moves and stuff on him, and he just gets at one point like it's in a fight coming up. I'm just gonna I will spoil it. He actually gets his regeneration slows down for some reason. And it's the same thing with Cell too. Like Cell gets his top half is blown. It's like Piccolo cells. It's like Piccolo can't fucking do that.
Oh, don't you remember the time Piccolo screamed and regenerated his head?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he
We would
screamed,
have done
but
that. We just shot him through the chest. Oh wait, he must have hit the one weak point in Piccolo's whole body. Just.
this guy sucks.
Yep.
And again, as a big Gohan fan, this is just basically one shitty swan song for him, because they build him up for like months upon months, and then within a chapter he's irrelevant again.
We literally spent episodes upon episodes waiting for Gohan to waste our goddamn time.
Yeah.
Not just that, I want to go have a bone to pick with the power level system. Again, Super kind of remedies this with stamina later on, but this the power level system is just way out of control here, because Ultimate Gohan's supposed to be like this, probably one of the most powerful characters in all of Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, he is literally the strongest character in the entire universe at this point. That's not some kind of crazy fusion of people.
Yeah, and then they, I guess once he gets Gotenks, he's stronger than him, I guess.
Because it's like Super Saiyan 3 plus Super Saiyan 3 is, more than 3.5, I guess.
But then the next fight doesn't make any fucking sense.
The next one's even worse.
It's like, this is why people, thank God for freaking, thank God for Rocky saying, you know what, power levels are bullshit. Let's just make these characters super fucking weird.
Yeah. Like, in JoJo and Hunter x Hunter, power level isn't really something that matters too much. I mean, it obviously does, but, like, nobody's ever so, like,
it's hard to explain either of those series.
There's more emphasis on technique than, like, raw power. Like, nobody in Dragon Ball or like Z or even Super is doing anything different than they've done before, except just punching harder.
Yeah, knowledge is power, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like you can have Tien show up and do all these cool things, but it doesn't matter because his power level doesn't match theirs.
It's a double-edged sword though, because Dragon Ball is one of its biggest draws is just watching these super overpowered characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they become so overpowered. That's why I'm glad they Super kind of dials things back a bit, because it gives the other characters something to fucking do.
I mean, it did that in the most recent arc, but none of the ones we were dealing with before.
Yeah.
Like like the final arc in Super is like, yeah, we'll give everybody else something to do. Like, you should have been
Master
doing that the
Roshi
entire
was
goddamn.
important again.
Yeah, he actually did things,
Yeah.
and he got a whole fucking episode where he kicked ass.
Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to get that. I just want to get those two things
Yeah.
out for my chest. Just how like this, everything about this episode just kind of
It's
gels
bullshit.
into like it's just power level bullshit and super boo bullshit, all just
Yeah.
kind of rolled into a nice little package.
Everyone is staring at Boo as he drops pink globs off of him, and
Yep.
nobody notices.
Well, I mean, they got to make sure that Gohan doesn't win the fight somehow.
Mr. Satan noticed, but nobody listened.
The dog noticed.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
Mrs. Is Mr. Satan like the last observant
he's-
person in all Dragon Ball Z?
Pretty much.
Want to talk about Black Clover?
Yeah.
Black Clover episode 10, Guardians. In this episode, they win.
This episode they win, yay!
Okay.
Magda remembers all those times that old dude would capture him and then do things.
Yeah.
Do you think? Why does it sound dirty? Anyway,
All those times he would.
Whatever.
Better left unsaid. Anyway, it was boring.
It was.
well, I know everybody's gonna rip this. Oh, God damn it! I'm trying to pull up the manga right now. I know.
I know that this entire thing was like a chapter and a half in the manga.
And I find it both humorous and just really depressing when you tell people just how fast the manga goes through this stuff and how slow the fucking anime is.
Yeah.
I mean,
What did they expect when they went to Studio Pierrot?
But it's
I mean-
it's in Studio Pro, even on Naruto for the first chapters.
They weren't that bad.
They weren't that bad. I'm just shocked they just went out the gate for especially when you're trying to build a fan base. That's how Naruto built a fan base in the first place when they got to the really slow crap. But they're just trying. It's like they're trying to smother this in the crib, which Black Clover
It's not
admittedly isn't the best manga, but it really deserved better, which is saying a lot because I'll admit it to its flaws and everything, but I feel so bad for it now. Just watching the anime, it's like reading the manga. It's like I probably would have been harsher on the manga and the anime if the anime just wasn't so badly adapted.
Well, my theory is that the reason they're doing this is and you're right, maybe they didn't do that at the beginning of Naruto, and then they later learned that
They could get
they
away
make
with it.
more money if they just don't end the series or don't do seasons. And so that's what they're doing here is that they're just like, well, we can't take breaks. That's just not in the cards. So the idea is that this show will not have seasons. It will just be a never-ending new show every week. And to do that, you have to drag it out. It's not good, but I think that's their business model.
The really upsetting thing though is the manga actually. I'm actually reading through the manga actually outpaces the anime at a certain point because we're on episode 20.
Yeah.
10.
And what we cover in chapter
20.
14 of the I'm actually reading through the wiki right now. What we're covering chapter 14 in the manga isn't covered till episode 16 of the show. How does that happen?
That is weird.
Because they're bad.
I mean, it's really bad when the freaking anime hit a completely filler episode by episode 3. Even though episode 2 was, let's face it, 99% filler. I think it was like the last 1 to 2 minutes is actually the stuff in the manga, but that was just the end of chapter 1 because they covered the rest of chapter 1.
I think that's their business plan is to just they don't want to ever take breaks. They want to make sure that they're making advertising dollars every week. And
Well,
so
I
to
mean,
do
the
that,
thing-
they have to to spread it out.
To have advertising dollars, you have to have people watching your show, though. It's
I
like
think-
they want people to not watch the show
Well,
so
it
badly,
worked.
but
Okay,
all of it
I
went to
hear you.
marketing for it.
I hear you, and you might be right. But see, in Perot's mind, it worked with Shippuden.
I
So
mean,
they're
the
probably
reason it
just
worked
trying
with
to do
Shippuden is
that.
because they already had people from regular Naruto.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you guys aren't wrong. I'm just saying this seems to be what they think.
Yeah.
I really do hope the anime just dies and gets canceled because it deserves to get canceled. It really, I mean, if this
Yeah.
doesn't, then it just kind of proves how powerful the most generic of shonen can get away with bullshit. But
Remember Fairy Tail?
if Fairy Tail got canceled, and Fairy Tail had much better pacing than this, and I hate Fairy Tail, but it's then I mean, oof.
I mean, this will probably make Fairy Tail seem like legitimately
blessing.
watchable.
I mean, the thing with it is, like, I remember reading through Fairy Tale, like it is it's a readable thing. You know, the parts that I read.
Well,
It's
that's
just
the thing.
that
Black
it's
Clover and Fairy
so
Tail share a
paint by
lot in common.
numbers.
Black Clover and Fairy Tail share a lot in common. They were both what I call kind of popcorn manga because even though once you sit down to think about it, it's not very good. The arcs come so fast and just so quick, you can just shotgun through them really easily.
You don't have time to think about what's good or what's not. It's like, oh my god, so much stuff is happening.
And I think the biggest shame too is I'm like reading the manga too, and I watched the anime, and it's like they put even the most recent arcs, they put the most minimal amount of effort in for like 1 minute of Sakuga, and that's it, just to kind of keep people watching.
Mhm.
And then the rest is just cheap animation. And then I'm just gonna outright spoil it. Like, fucking you have the in the manga going on right now where the wizard emperor, who I think you've been teased about already, is fighting, and his whole
Yeah, let's not spoil it.
damn it, but you're never gonna fucking get to it. This is chapter 7, which is not gonna happen until like episode 100 of the anime.
Yeah.
Chapter 7. Chapter 7.
You are right though about the Sakuga. I did notice that. Like, you're right. Most of the show looks pretty like average, and then like there'll be like a minute or two of like some really great animation thrown in there. And you're right. I think they do that just to be like, see, look, it looks good, doesn't it?
See, we can animate.
It's so frustrating, so frustrating. Because there's a couple good arcs in the anime, which, based on the pacing, we're never gonna fucking get to. But it's I just dread once we actually reach like the final half, and I know based on how fast we're going, we're gonna end on literally the worst arc.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know which one? I think if you read the manga, I think you know which one I'm talking about. It's the guy. It's the guy with the guy with that loves his sister just so much.
No.
Oh no.
Fucking let's move on because fuck, I don't want to think about it anymore. Also, that ice dude was boring as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he was just there for a chapter and a half. It's fine in the manga. When you focus on the guy, he's gonna be boring as shit because he's just in and out in the manga.
It'll take 25 seconds to. Anyway, JoJo?
Yes.
Please, for the love of God, I just need to blow off so much steam tonight.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Battle in Egypt. Episode 25, Iggy the Fool and Geb's Endul, Part 1. That's a mouthful.
It is.
In this episode, dog.
Iggy Pup. One of my favorite comments in the thread.
Also in this episode, that dude's head gets ripped off and pulled straight into a canteen.
That one's censored. Oh boy. Yeah, this guy. I mean, shit gets freaking serious in the second half of JoJo's.
It will not
Yeah.
stop. It will continue to get more violent. I swear to God, to ludicrous
More
degrees.
violent, more ridiculous too. I mean, it's the End Duel. I think is one of the best like foots forward for like. Yeah, this is definitely the second half of Stardust Crusaders because, I mean, at this point the stand fights just get freaking crazy. I love like there was some highlights in the first part, but I like a majority of the stand fights in part 2 because they're this is when kind of Rocky starts hitting his stride and you get much more interesting characters and fights.
Also, in this
and
episode, Kakuin is like, "What? More stand users? There's not enough cards in the tarot for that." And it's like, dude.
At least he admits it.
Also, the clue to what the new stand users are based on is right there in the title.
Yeah, but we'll get to that when we hit part 2. But I just really want to emphasize how much I really do like Endul. He's way smarter than almost every villain we've run into at this point. In the fact he's just completely blind, and just it kind of turns the fight into, as many point out, kind of Tremors at one point. But it's there's going to be more to it to discuss as part 2 airs. But the fact he basically took out two of the teams so far. Like Polnara's been is pretty much crippled on the car, and
Kakuin's
KO.
My eyes.
Yeah. I mean, this he doesn't play around.
What do you guys think of the? Oh, sorry.
And again, the stand is just it's a very basic stand, but it's deadly. It's because it's combined with he uses his weakness, blindness, to his advantage to actually listen in on the sand and fight from 4 kilometers away. If it wasn't for Iggy showing up at that moment, they would have been bones.
Pretty much. What do you guys think of the new opening?
It's really good.
I'm biased because I love the opening. I know some people aren't too hot on it, but it's one of those openings that it's kind of like the ending. Like I know when you like do the transitions for the show, you do the opening to hype everyone up. But on the very last episode, you really need to do "Last Train Home" as the intro for when you're transitioning, because that ending song is just so perfect for the final episodes.
No, it needs that. I mean, there's a special one, special version of that opening that needs to be used.
Yeah, both the opening and the ending are great.
I agree. I think that they're both really good.
The reason the opening is my favorite out of the bunch really placed towards later, but that's going to be a while. Either way, it's energetic. It's a lot of fun, and
I just and just briefly, I'll mention I don't really get the appeal of Iggy. Maybe I will get to like him later, but at the moment, it just seems annoying.
So here's a fun thing that happens with Iggy. For the first 2 episodes, Iggy is kind of like this super, like, just garbage
realistic
monster dog with a stupid face. And then literally in the 3rd episode of this season, he suddenly gets handsome and cute.
Well, that's because, I mean,
Straight up.
It matches Araki's style in the first 2 times he illustrated him. He was just this really ugly, realistic pug, and then he got sexy.
And then he literally got like human eyes. Like straight up, like just put the handsome filter over him, and that's what he looks like in episodes 3 and beyond.
I mean, like even the way he looks. Aside from that, just this idea that like he jumps on people's faces and farts, and it's like it's not appealing to me. Just there.
I will say this: that I mean, apart from the first few episodes, he pretty much quits that shit out really fast.
Well, if that's the case, then I can understand why people like him, because at the moment this is a bad first impression.
It's supposed to be.
He's just a plain asshole in the first.
He's a coffee chewing gum eating monster.
Yeah.
with a really strong stand that's bullshit. Because it
A
literally
stand
is
that
just, it's made out of sand. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
And it's also like half man, half car.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Don't worry, I'm sure Luffy will spit water on him and then just punch him to death.
Anyway, otherwise in this episode we had that's it.
I mean, like I said, a majority of what's discussed in this episode is going to be in the second half.
This is a really backloaded fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of get the general idea, because the first part is the introduction of Iggy. Second part is kind of getting an idea of what Duel Stand basically does, but like Duel is a character in the majority of the fight, all in part 2.
Also, Kakyoin is like, man, I'm pretty sure Dio has the world, you guys.
He might.
Or would
What's
you
that?
say he has Zawarudo?
Don't even get. Anyways, yeah, there's not much else to discuss, but
Want to talk about Gundam?
Yes.
Oh boy, let's talk about
Depression Power
Gundam.
Hour. Let's go.
Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron Blooded Orphans, episode 41. Natural for a human, whatever that means. I guess it refers. I don't know. In this
Who knows?
episode, yellow banana suit guy is like, I'm gonna be a huge dick and crash this fucking funeral. And he's like, man, they didn't do shit. Guess I'll assassinate this person.
I just call him Pimp Fuckboy Extreme.
Yeah. For the record, his name is Jasly, and he is suddenly
Asshole.
and quickly became equally as hated as Eok.
Well, I mean,
They're tied
the-
for just local man. Basically.
Well, I mean, I feel like Eok is still worse, if only because he doesn't realize that he's an asshole, whereas this guy is like, yeah, I'm an asshole. Like, he owns it.
Yeah, but this guy, man, like, you don't go to people's funerals and be a dick.
Yeah,
That's
they're both
strike
assholes.
one.
But let's face it, I love hating these assholes so much. I just
Yeah,
wanna
I
see-
do too, but I'm just like, let's lay it out. So that's reason one, and you feel really like you just so want Tekkadan, who are all standing there, kind of honor guard like. You just so want them to just walk forward and beat the shit out of this guy, but they won't do it. And then two, oh yeah, let's get Lofner fucking assassinated in cold blood. Like, I think everybody who was watching this show, we were like, oh, okay, she and Akihiro, they have their kind of little meet cute, and she gives him the hug that she promised and all this stuff, and it just feels like everything's going good, and people are like, oh, death flags, and you're like, yeah, maybe there's death flags, and we'll probably have some battle in a couple of episodes where one of them dies. Nope. 5 minutes later, just in
let's go
cold
to the
blood with
Build-A-Bear workshop where nothing bad ever happens.
I was gonna say that. Gun down in the Build-A-Bear workshop.
Like, that's
right, and it's
cold-blooded.
just like, and it's shocking because you're like, you don't expect that.
And it wasn't even, it was the least dramatic thing this is the first villainous rat-a-tat-tat in this series.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
I was
usually,
like, welcome to Gundam, because it's
like,
true. That
bang, bang,
happens
bang.
in Gundam. People just get freaking assassinated sometimes.
Right, and it wasn't Jasly in disguise. It was just some thug he hired to do that.
But I do like
Yeah.
how, like, knowing what happens and watching it again, I do like how it's framed, because she's going to the Battle Workshop. It shows outside the window. You see the assassin coming up to the window.
Yeah.
And it's not something you really, it's something you kind of pass up in the first watch. It's like, okay, she's just looking at the bear, and then yeah, but I mean, this is why people like the second part of Iron Blood Orphans a lot better, direction wise, and just how shit this gets real, and honestly, just some really good bad guys.
And I would say too, not just good bad guys, but like this show has done a lot, I think, recently to really make me like certain characters. And I think I wasn't the only one. There were other people in the thread who was like, man, I liked her. I didn't want her to die. And it's like, if the show can do that and make you feel emotional about it, then it's working.
And then it undercuts it immediately with more stupid baby shit.
It was funny baby shit, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I did laugh.
was laughing so hard. It's like, hey, Mikazuki, I like you, Mikazuki. I just wanted to be with you. It's like, okay, let's make a baby.
It was
Just
funny
so-
watching her like react to getting exactly what she wanted.
not just that though. I mean, just when she was back in the talking with the Bakugo for Iron-Blooded Orphans, it's like, can you just wash the dishes and I don't know, make breakfast tomorrow morning because I got a lot of shit to think about.
Yeah, it was. You're right. It's cringy, but also really funny. I think.
It's probably the best. I mean, considering her arc is probably the
Yeah.
best way to go about it. Just it was just hilarious.
That's another thing this episode did because it does that like really kind of like lighthearted, goofy moment, and Mika's all like, "Hey, let's make a baby," and she's like, "Oh crap," you know, and it's all kind of funny and goofy, and then literally the next scene is the assassination, and you're just like whiplash. You're just like, "Whoa!" And then the episode ends with Orga talking to Mika, and he's like, what do you want me to do? And Orga's like, crush them all.
Yeah, it's like, how far do you want me to take this? You know what? Fuck them.
You have fucked up now.
The one thing I want to say is, what did Akihiro do to piss off the creators so much? Because they just want to fuck him. I just don't know. Like every moment of happiness he gets, they just freaking punch him in the nuts. I don't know why.
Oh, it's my brother. Oh, it's my baby girlfriend.
Oh.
Also, that thing from that one picture last week, Akihiro might get laid if it's now super hilarious.
Oh my goodness! Poor Akihiro.
Yeah, and they cut
that's the thing. He does nothing to deserve this. The universe hates him.
Right. And there's like a brief shot in the episode where like they cut to like the workout room and it's all just completely destroyed and then just a shot of him laying on the floor, and you know that he just basically had like a rage fit that we didn't get to see.
Yeah, that's why I like this episode focuses on just the right characters, because you have Orga, Mikazuki, Laughter, and I'm drawing a blank now, but yeah, it doesn't, with such a huge cast, it knows when to focus in. This episode is pretty tightly knit, it feels like.
Yeah, if there's anything I want to say about this episode, is that it was very, very good. And that if anyone had like Seda has not been watching this show, I think they're missing out now, because I think this show's gotten really good again.
Don't worry, Seda has to watch these episodes.
Why?
I mean, I feel like I'm not big on the sort of baby plot line. Like I'm still like, no, I don't need that. That's not something I need. Go away with that shit. You know?
We'll see in the upcoming episodes. I haven't watched the future of the series, but if I'm reading the tea leaves right, it seems like that's going to drop really fucking fast.
Oh, thank
until
God.
Until the end.
Oh Jesus! So it's
because
come
they
back.
literally will not have any time for thinking about that because everyone is dying. Speaking of everyone is gonna die.
Oh no!
Hunter x Hunter
power continues. Woo!
Hunter x Hunter episode 84, A Fated Awakening. In this episode, Ramat's like, I'm awesome! I'm amazing! I can be the king! And then Neferpitou just plops out and he's just like,
nope.
I will do anything you say, master.
I can do this. I can win. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh no, I can't. Like Neferpitou just sort of just showed up and he was like, yeah, no, I can't do shit.
That was really well done, because I didn't know anything about this character, and just the way that like they just do the way it all plays out with just like, and they have like this shot that's like in his head of her like putting her hand on his head, but it's like this giant hand that's pressing him down, and it's like, okay, I get it. She is just light years beyond.
You get it.
Oh yeah, I get it. I like that. Because she's so evil and obviously powerful, but then she has puns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get. Oh, I forgot. That's what you were doing. Anyway.
Yeah, I understand.
She's adorable. She's a lovely cat. Oh my god, what the fuck is she doing to Pockle's brain? Holy shit, fuck. Oh my god.
like she cut his skull open and then put a couple needles in there and she's just manipulating him.
Yeah, poor Pockle's like, oh man, I managed to get out. Oh wait, they found a fate worse than death for me. Damn it.
Yeah, like we thought what happened to his friend was bad. It's like that ain't shit compared to what happened to him.
She got it easy. She got gunned. She probably died in a single shot, and then you know.
Yeah.
Just what happened to her body was just brutal. But I mean, he freaking was alive.
Oh
It
yeah,
was-
this one's worse.
and she
Yeah.
searched his brain on the side of fava beans.
Mm.
I mean,
Meanwhile,
Jesus.
Killua, Gon, and Kite are still headed over there.
Meanwhile, in Nope Adventures, Lion
They
Dude.
they chased Leomon. Hot topic Leomon.
Oh God.
He just takes one look at Kite and he's like, "Nah, I'm good."
It's like I'm the king of the jungle. I'll corner him in here, and Kite just like fuck Scythe.
Nope.
Are we gonna
I
see
can't do it.
this trio again? You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think they'll be around.
Because they keep showing these characters, but they never do anything. I keep wondering if they're gonna.
A lot of
Yeah.
I have to step on eggshells here, but a lot of the characters come around. Some of them don't really get a moment in the sun, but that's
What happened to Koala Dude? I don't even.
Yeah.
Fine, I don't know. Whatever.
it's hard, again, it's stepping on eggshells because it's hard to explain. It becomes their roles in the greater story becomes more clear as the ant arc, the Chimera Ant arc unfolds, because it's a long ass
Yeah.
arc, and there's a lot of like foreshadowing in it too.
I remind you
Mhm.
that this is episode 84 of like 140 something.
Yeah,
And most of what's left is Chimera Ant.
Even though she knows there's never Pito, it would be a lot easier just to call Pito from here
Yeah.
on out. But I love her design. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
Alpito has an
just-
awesome design.
yeah, I mean she has this kind of cute kind of cat girl face, but just having the eyes glow or just focusing on the eyes just makes her just one of the most menacing characters.
Oh yeah.
She's also got that kind of like disarming personality where she seems kind of chipper,
Yeah.
but you know underneath that she's really like a murderer and evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we find out that she's a specialist of all things. It just kind of goes to show just how like above and beyond most of those elite guards are. Because I
Yeah,
mean,
and
they
there's-
used to threatening
there's two
before,
more
but the
royal
elite guards
guards.
and everything above them are just one step ahead.
I mean, and think about this. Like, she came out knowing, like, with Nen already, and there's two more just like her on the way, and then the king above them. So it's like the chance to end this
Yeah.
without the hunters getting like a lot of casualties is probably over.
Don't worry,
Because-
I'm sure
holy
they'll
crap.
come back next episode, right, guys? Right?
They just got to drop a bomb on these guys and be done with it.
Yep, just like nukes.
Oh man. Anyways, that's it for. Does anybody have anything else to say about Hunter x Hunter?
That's my job. No, I don't have anything.
No,
I mean,
I'm
it's a
just.
lot of
I will
fun.
just say again, awesome episode. Man, this was a really good week. I mean, there's some
A
stinkers
really
in
good
here.
week for. Oh god, it's so depressing.
Yeah, but like
Everything is the
entertaining,
worst.
like engaging.
Anyway, Naruto is weird.
Yeah.
Anything really quick about Naruto?
Yeah, apparently in the Leaf Village they condone torturing women. And then also they didn't have to torture her because they apparently have mind reading jutsu. So, like you
Look-
said in the thread, they just do it for fun.
Yeah,
It's
Mhm.
just what they do.
Yep.
man, Joe Kage's got some dark secrets there.
I don't know how to feel anymore about Naruto. On one hand, it's filler, and I know it's supposed to suck, but on the other hand, it's just like at this point, I've kind of grown numb to it, because it's just gonna be. I know from this point forward, it's probably gonna be 50. It's more than 50-50 filler, but
Yeah.
so they try and find out what this. They're trying to find the Lock Village, and this one has the.
no one cares. Trust
No
me.
one cares. Moving on.
Also, the most like you can tell the first shot, you can tell it's filler because her character design is just like, "Hello, here there be filler."
I don't know. And that's the
I'm from
thing.
the
Like,
I'm
I
from
didn't
the
hate this
Lock
episode.
Village.
I didn't love it. But that's once I finished watching it, I literally forgot what the hell happened. I just kind of remember Lock Village because
Only
it's just
thing I
such a
remember,
stupid name for a village. And
only thing I remember was, and this made me cringe, is that and laugh, is that Kid Kakashi looks exactly like Adulta Kakashi.
yeah, and then the kids were like trying to ship Kakashi and filler character, and
Yeah.
I just didn't. Like I said, I just kind of blanked out on most of this episode, and I watched it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those nothing episodes. It is the definition of filler.
Anyway, Outlaw Star.
Okay.
Outlaw Star episode 22, Gravity Jailbreak. The Fast and Furious 9th movie is what this is.
And it's good.
It's good.
Oh, it's okay.
In this episode, they just are kind of totally cool with this doctor, and he's like, go into this prison that
Oh, they're
nobody's
not
ever
cool, the
escaped from.
doctor.
No,
They
they're
are not
not.
cool
They
with them at
pretend
all.
to be cool. And then it's just the prison from Face Off.
Time for prison break. Now with anime.
Yep.
I'd say this was one of the top 3 episodes so far.
What?
I don't
Yeah.
think so. Far from it.
Oh
don't know
man,
about that.
I thought
I
this was
enjoyed it.
kind of a
Solid
I
episode.
thought this was kind of a snoozer, honestly.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
maybe
it
it was a
I
snoozer.
felt-
I don't know.
I just felt it was kind of by the numbers prison break, which I mean isn't bad. It's a nice change of pace for the series. But compared to something like the cat episode or the cactus episode, which are just
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
mean-
Oh no,
the
I'm not saying it's
Cactus
bad. I'm
episode.
just like, it didn't really do anything for me, and it just felt like, I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was just, it didn't really.
it did
I don't
what it
know.
needed to do, and then it moved on.
Yeah, I mean-
Next episode though, oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
This episode, oh yeah, first time in Toonami. Oh,
So
that
is this-
episode is gonna be so fun. I can't wait for you
Yeah,
guys to
maybe I
watch it.
shouldn't ask this question. I'll just wait until next week. But I was anyway. So the only other thing I'd say about this episode, though, was I don't think magnets work quite the way Gene used it.
I don't think
Where
they do either.
You have a tiny magnet in your pocket, and then you put it on your belt and stand at the North Pole. It will lift you into the air and into
Fucking
space.
magnets. How do they work?
Not like that.
Mysterious
Please,
power
Like,
of
why was it
magnets.
not being ripped out of his hand?
Just insert the actual, like, fucking magnets song in here.
Yeah, it's dumb. It was dumb. But I don't know. And then the only good thing in the episode was at the very end when they punched that con guy in the face.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I like the hat. I like the hat and the girl. It's like the girl stick to him like glue. And it's like the second they got what they need, it's like done.
Yeah.
Stay
But,
tuned for next week when you get some, fan
Mm-mm.
service.
Oh yes.
Not just that, it actually fills. It's plot-driven fan service. Thank you very much, because people that watched the original Outlaw Star, I'm not going to say too much, but skipping this episode, there's stuff that happens immediately in the next 3 episodes after.
Yeah.
Next 3 episodes afterwards that they directly reference this episode, but
Yeah.
they
So this
skipped in
is,
Toonami, so it never made any freaking sense.
Yeah.
This is exactly what happened with Gurren Lagann.
Because there's one character that shows up in the final episodes that does absolutely nothing, who's actually in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting,
There's
'cause
an item they make reference to.
Yeah.
A bunch.
Well, don't go
That's-
into too much detail.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of saying in general. This is the stuff that happens. That this episode fills in those gaps.
Right, and
So-
like it
And
reminds me.
it's a very entertaining episode.
Yeah, it reminds me of what Gurren Lagann did, because like Gurren Lagann had its sauna house hot spring episode,
Yeah.
way too hot for TV, and at the same time also introduced an important plot point
Mhm.
that was skipped over in that episode because it didn't air, and then they aired that altered version or whatever, and so it's like the same. Sounds like it's the same thing happening here.
Yeah. But this is the first time we're actually getting it, so it's it's going to be interesting to see what they do.
I really hope you guys enjoy the episode, because if I remember correctly, it's just a really fun episode. Like, Asia Clan is just freaking gold the whole entire episode.
So, There's 4 episodes left of this. Let's go around the table. Name one show that you think replaces this. I'll start. It's going to be Space Battleship Yamato, $21.99.
That would be pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you think, C. Kohler?
I'd say either that or maybe Escaflowne.
Escaflowne just showed up on Crunchyroll. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say Escalfone too. I feel like for this, at this late in the evening, they're not going to do anything like brand spanking new. They're just going to throw something older in there.
And Escaflowne, I mean, considering everything they've done with Escaflowne, it just makes too much sense. Kind of like an Outlaw Star, when they can actually air the final episode for the first time. And Escaflowne, they can actually air the unneutered version with new dub and everything. It'll be great.
I feel like Escaflowne is like the Cowboy Bebop replacement, and basically it would have been the Outlaw Star replacement if the Lupin replacement hadn't been like, oh, nope.
Yeah, maybe.
I feel
maybe.
like
I mean, we'll see.
got bumped back a bit.
But
So we would have gotten, like, anyway.
I
Yeah,
mean, I
those-
can't think of another show, honestly. Those are the only 2 I can think of.
all the shows I had,
Yeah.
I could think of are like brand spanking new. And I don't know if they would even be ready to air. Land of the Lustrous,
Oh my god.
Maiden of the Abyss.
Land of the Lustrous, those are both on Amazon. There's no
Right,
chance.
but
Yeah.
we've talked about this before. There is the whole like anime strike died. Who knows? I will just say this right now, and I'll say it every time that show is mentioned. Put it on Toonami. Put it on Toonami as an amazing show. It would be amazing. It just won't. I just don't think it'll happen because of like the weirdness, legal issue of like, does Amazon still own it or not? But man, nothing would make me happier right now if they aired that show.
And of course, my internal love, My Hero Academia. It will happen if I keep saying it.
Someday!
I
But,
think it's
like,
possible
I mean,
someday.
I think Escaflowne makes the most sense considering the show it's replacing and the time slot. It's a safe bet. People love it. There's a fan base for it, and all the timing's perfect for it.
You know what else is
Toonami's made swerves in the past, so we'll see.
You know what else is also perfect in that same vein?
Hmm.
Gundam Wing.
Oh yeah. I don't think they'd want to have 2 Gundams on at the same time though.
It's in preparation for when IBO is over.
Yeah.
That I could see,
Well-
or the G Gundam HD.
Also,
That I don't believe has a dub.
Have you seen this, man?
I thought they were in the middle of doing one,
I don't
getting
know.
one together. I thought I read something about that.
Well, I think also we are also kind of thinking about like this show is going to replace this slot. I think that's misguided. That may very well happen, but I think it's also just easily possible that they could get a new show and then just shift everything down.
Possible.
Like shift everything back half an hour. I mean, that's certainly reasonable and could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more what I'm thinking for the Cowboy Bebop replacement, though. Because that only has 6 episodes left.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
Fuluku's coming in
not just that,
April
like,
or something.
Dragon Ball Z is about to reach its conclusion. Everything's kind of Dragon Ball Z is still like I think 15.
So Dragon Ball
20.
Z ends in like June, and the summer season, which is when Fooly Cooly is supposed to air, starts in July.
Yeah, so that's probably what's going to replace Dragon Ball Kai.
For a
Z
little
Kai.
bit. For a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of
Moving around.
change. Yeah, so we'll see. It should be exciting. It's nice to get some new shows, but I have to say it was nice getting like some old favorites and some good solid new shows on the block.
I assume that we're going to get Attack on Titan as a short breather between JoJo parts.
Maybe.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Anyway, there was a music video this week which was Black Clover themed, so
Hey, it's the only way to make Black Clover entertaining, I guess.
Black Clover is definitely one of those shows where even Toonami presentation it's like it makes it a little bit better, but
Well, it wasn't just Black Clover, but it was heavily Black Clover.
right.
Yeah.
Black Clover just kind of sucks the life out of the room at this point.
Yeah.
It's positioned so poorly in the block. I mean, goddamn.
Oh yeah,
I just look
they
forward
gotta
to
move it down.
finally getting pushed back. Like, it really does deserve to get pushed back so far.
I don't think it's ever going to get pushed back. Well, maybe
has
if
to.
they put maybe Attack on Titan. Maybe.
I mean, I feel like it should be where Hunter x Hunter is. You know?
Hunter x Hunter should take its place. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just
should
move those two around.
It should be right next to Shippuden.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But then I don't know that anyone could make it through that hour.
No one could.
Anyway, that'll about do it for this episode of the Toonami Escape podcast. Thank you, Raxus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
B-dubs, you're not Raxus.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you said yeah? I usually do you first, but I didn't this time, and you were still on autopilot. That's what it was. Thank you, C-Caller.
No problem.
Thank you, B-dubs. B-dubs.
Why isn't anyone saying anything? Oh, right, that's me.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 93. Good night, everyone.